Alright, in this lecture we're going to explore clause 7.3 of ISO 27001, and this one is called awareness. This clause focuses on making sure that everyone in your organization understands the importance of information security, their role in protecting information assets, and the potential consequences of their misbehavior. Okay, this one is also related to clause 7, which is called the support clauses, and with that being said, let's jump right in. Okay, so what is the requirement? The organization must ensure that persons doing work under its control are aware of the information security policy, their contribution to the effectiveness of the ISMS, the benefits of an overall improved information security performance, and the implications of not conforming to the ISMS requirements. So in simple terms, everybody who works for or with your organization needs to know the key rules and their role in keeping information secure. So awareness is not about technical training, but about creating the right mindset. Okay, now with the project plan, remember 7.2 and 7.3 are closely related, so that's why they're all tangled up here, and there's no real benefit in separating those two. Alright, now what is awareness? The definition says the following. Awareness is the state of understanding and acknowledging the importance of relevant policies, risks, responsibilities, and expected behaviors related to the management system, and in our case, the information security management system. Now, what does that mean for our ISMS? There are pretty much three things that we have to create awareness for. This is, first of all, we have to make people aware that there is an information security policy. So it's not enough to simply upload the policy to your intranet, to your SharePoint, to wherever. No, we have to make people aware that this exists, and people also have to demonstrate their awareness. So one common way of doing this is to obtain acknowledgement from people that they have read and understood the information security policy. Same goes for how your role contributes to security. Now, people have to understand that what they're doing is important and that it has an effect on the information security posture of the organization. And they also have to be aware of what happens when rules aren't followed. So, for example, in your information security policy, there might be a disclaimer in terms of what happens if you violate this policy. This is something related to awareness. And now, what about the practical implications? Now, most organizations run a, let's say, training and awareness program inside their organization. And this program is typically about, let's say, information security in general. So people are made aware of, let's say, the current threats that the organization is facing. So how do you spot a phishing mail? How do you react to a phishing mail? How do you classify data? Which information classification levels do we have? And if you have such a piece of information, how do you have to handle it? So do you have to encrypt it? Are you allowed to send it via email? And so on and so on. So it's pretty much about making people aware of the importance and how they can contribute. Now, besides this, let's say, awareness and training program, we just mentioned examples for including certain sections in your policies. So, for example, who does this policy apply to? How do you acknowledge the, let's say, understanding of the policy? And what happens if you violate the policy? So all these little things can be geared towards the overall topic of awareness, which is covered in clause 7.3 of ISO 27001.